All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the market statistics from August 2023. We're going to be diving into what's going on with average sale price, how many new listings are coming on the market, how many homes are closing. We're going to take a look at the buyer activity, the seller activity, and you're going to get a great idea of where things are going from here. Now, we're coming to the end of summer, which is typically the busy season for real estate. Heading into fall and winter, things typically start to slow down and home prices start to drop off. So let's dive right into the data and see if that matches what typically happens. The average sale price in Tulare County was $386,173 in August, and that's down significantly from the all-time highs that we saw in June. The last 2 months, we've seen fairly sharp declines. And typically this is something that we would see going into fall and winter, but we are actually seeing it a little bit earlier than we typically would. Overall, activity this year has been down compared to the last few years, but again, the last few years were kind of considered the pandemic years, and buyer activity was absolutely off the charts during those years. So comparing average sale price to the last few years, a year ago we were at $368,611, a year before that, $342,525, and 3 years ago we were $278,848. So if you bought your home 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 years ago you still got a little bit of equity, but if you bought 3 years ago, you're still sitting in fantastic shape. So again, we're kind of hovering around these all-time highs, but as we go into fall and winter, we could see things continue to drop down into kind of the 350K level. Looking at price per square foot, we're at $226 per square foot in Tulare County. Our all-time high was again in June, that was $230 per square foot, down a little bit from there. Again, prices are holding really strong, and people ask me all the time, what's driving that? And a lot of it has to do with supply, right? We have extremely low supply right now, and even though demand is lower than it's been in previous years, there's less buyer activity than we've seen in the last few years. There's way less listings, there's way less inventory, so the supply is down, the demand is down, but the supply is down so much more that it feels like the demand is still, is still very strong, and that's keeping home prices up. Taking a look at new listings, we're at 309 in August. And again, when you look at this year compared to the last 3 years, we had far more listings hitting the market these last 3 years than we've had in 2023. And that's kind of the supply issue that I've been talking about. When we look at August from a year ago, that was 384. August from 2 years ago, 420 new listings. And August from 3 years ago, 425 new listings. That's 25% more, 30% more new listings than we've seen in 2023. Overall homes for sale, again, absolutely free falling since the end of 2022. Right now we're sitting at 457 homes for sale in Tulare County. Now that sounds like a lot, but that's total homes for sale across all price points, all cities. It's really low. Again, 3 years ago we're up at almost 900 homes for sale, double what we're at right now. So when you look at why home values are so strong right now, even though interest rates have been rising, you have to look at supply. Taking a look at pending sales, we've been rising since late 2022, which again, this would be winter, which would be a downtime. You would expect things to rebound from there, but it's been a fairly flat season. Even in pending sales, we haven't seen a whole lot of activity. We're sitting at 250 now. A year ago, we had 290 pending sales. 2 years ago, 363, and 3 years ago, 376 pending sales. So again, just overall activity is down. Take a look at closed sales, it's kind of the same story. Overall activity is choppy, but it's still down from previous years. A year ago, or this year, we've got 267. A year ago, we had 318 closed sales. 2 years ago, 325, and 3 years ago, 340 closed sales. So again, overall activity is down like 20%. Take a look at days on market, we're at 16 right now. We saw a huge spike during the winter and heading into even through spring of 2023. But things have been pretty competitive in the summer. This is kind of when buyer activity tends to spike. And even though we haven't seen it at the levels that we typically do, it still did spike during the summer. So you see days on market dropped here down to around 10, but now rebounded up to around 16 days on market. Again, if a home is priced properly, it's selling in the first week, 7 to 10 days. And then again, there's going to be homes that take a lot longer and they need to price adjust, and those are going to, help balance this number. Take a look at months of inventory. We're sitting at 2 months of inventory, and we've pretty much been at that level for most of 2023. You saw a huge drop off when the pandemic hit, It tried to rebound, and it rebounded quite a bit into the end of 2022, but we've fallen since then. So right now we're sitting at 2 months of inventory. Again, your typical buyer's market would be like 5-6 months of inventory. So we are a long ways from that. We're still in a seller's market. And again, that low supply is what's keeping things so competitive. Taking a look at the summary. Average sale price continued to pull back in August after hitting all-time highs in June. Buyer activity is significantly lower this summer than we've seen in recent years. Price per square foot pulled back slightly to $226 per square foot, down from the all-time high of $230 per square foot in June. New listings are significantly lower this year than we've seen in previous years, with only 309 new properties hitting the market in August. Pending sales decreased in August while closed sales rebounded significantly. Buyer activity has been significantly lower than a typical summer as they've been waiting for rates to drop. Homes for sale are extremely low. We're sitting all the way down at around 2 months of inventory, and this is the biggest concern in the real estate market right now. A year ago, buyers were paying tens of thousands of dollars above asking price. They were paying for their own closing costs and repairs. They were paying thousands of dollars more to cover a short appraisal in the instances that they came up short. And this was all just to have a chance at buying the home they wanted. Now, things are a little bit less competitive now, but we're still seeing successful buyers getting pre-approved early, sometimes paying above asking price, sometimes asking for closing costs, sometimes writing appraisal gaps. You're seeing all kinds of offers because we're seeing pricing on properties kind of in a wider range than we were seeing then. Because there aren't enough homes and there's a lot of competition out there for the best ones, you still need to be very competitive. Now, home prices are near all-time highs right now, which is primarily driven by low inventory. If you're waiting for prices to increase significantly, you're likely going to be waiting a while. I think things are going to start to flatten out. Sellers aren't listing their homes right now due to higher interest rates than they're used to, but when rates start to drop, I think you're going to see an influx of new listings. There's very little risk of a big wave of foreclosures causing a shocking market crash. This is kind of something that people like to talk about, but the data really isn't there to support it. Low inventory is keeping things extremely competitive for buyers right now. We are seeing multiple offers and appraisal gaps again. And again, we're speaking specifically about properly priced properties. We are seeing some properties that are overpriced right now, but we are also seeing things that are priced competitively, and you will need to make a strong offer on those. Now, there are always talks about the coming collapse of the dollar, collapse of the stock market, or collapse of the real estate market. If these bearish experts are correct, this might be remembered as the best time to sell your home. Now, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys coming with me every month and taking this journey. We'll be back again in October to take a look at the data from September. Until then, take care, and we'll talk soon.